Tuber's High Score Challenge, recording once again on a Sunday evening. The game this time is, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, it's Xexex, so whether that's Xexex or ZZX or Xex, as I said at first, I'm not entirely sure, but that is the name of the game, and we're playing the Japanese ROM version. A game by Konami. It's probably easiest described as perhaps a kind of mix between R-Type and Parodius in a way. That's what sort of sprang to mind for me anyway. It's kind of like got that sort of slightly cartoony look and feel to it, but it's also got the kind of like precision and sort of difficulty of R-Type in parts as well. Although I hasten to add, not as difficult as R-Type, but it seems to kind of play like that. So yeah, it kind of a mix between the two. I think the graphics in this game are lovely. The ship looks nice, all the background graphics look nice, sort of moving backgrounds, nice effects, all looks fantastic. I like the design of the pod as well. The pod's this kind of like detachable thing with like tentacles, which is very cool. Although I've got my criticisms of that, which I'll cover in just a minute. And just generally, it looks like a nice game. I'll start with I'll sort of go on to say what I'm not so keen on about this game. Some of it feels quite awkward as in part. So, for example, I've detached the pod here, and the pod is very cool. It kind of like it's almost got a slight little bit of artificial intelligence. It sort of seeks out the enemies, but it's so slow in doing so that sometimes you kind of left stranded waiting for your pod to do something or take out an enemy, which is like right by it, and it's just like hovering there doing sod all, or it might get stuck behind a bit of scenery, and it's kind of like it's just a bit frustrating that. But nonetheless, I do like it as a feature, and it does come in handy on a couple of parts in particular. So, coming up to the end of the first level boss here, I've been picking up various weapons throughout the course of the level as well, though you probably wouldn't notice them really, because I've mainly been using the charge shot, which is kind of like this electric thing, which reminds me a little bit of that in the Hunt game, although I've not really played that too much, so I can't really comment too much on that. I do find a lot of the weapons, they're kind of like, for the most part, it doesn't really matter too much what weapon you've got. Some are helpful in particular areas, but for some parts, it's kind of like you're just picking them up and you're not really paying too much attention really to what weapon you've got. That's what I found anyway. But first level boss here, this thing with a big cannon. It's a decent first level boss. It does have like one or two attacks which can catch you out at first, but with a little bit of practice, and pretty straightforward. This is annoying. So you clear a stage. I've got 1,000 points for completing stage 1. That's a measly amount. You get more points from taking out the first little wave of little ships just as you start the level. So 1,000 points for completing a level. I'm sure they've missed a zero off the end there. That's what it feels like anyway. I mean, you get like a whole 2,000 points level 2 and 3,000 points level 3 and so forth, but yeah, it's not enough in my book. You deserve a much fatter reward for completing a level. Anyway, that's just like another minor gripe really. So onto the second level, bright and colourful this one, all these sort of balls in the background, sort of like detach and sort of float around, get in your way. Some of them, if you leave them on the screen for too long, sort of shoot sort of a lot of bullets at you, like that purple one at the top which I just took out. Those are the ones, if you leave for too long, they can sort of spray a load of bullets, and you get these kind of like big ship thingies, which I think they sort of launch some of those little ones as well, so sort of like ideally take them out very quickly. Slightly tricky bit there, best to sort of sneak around the back straight away on that one, and try not to let it come up behind you for too long. Using the electricity to go through the wall and zap the ship thingy. Yeah, interesting enemy design though. It's kind of like it's all very kind of weird and wonderful. Some of it's sort of quite sort of like biological type stuff. And you've got these sort of strange, sort of like I don't know what to call it. I'm sure there's a way to describe it, but yeah, these strange little ball thingies. It's all very curious, as shall we say. Just about got that one. So I've got the sort of search laser here, which is quite powerful. Not a great spread on it, but you can sort of like move up and down. It creates a nice effect as well. Okay, and here's the level 2 boss here. So it kind of rotates. You can only sort of hit it when the red bit's showing. Try not to be too impatient, and it'll do one rotation where like you shoot, then you can't really hit it on the next rotation, and wait for the rotation after that to hit it again. And if you do that, you can take it out pretty swiftly. At first, trying to sort of charge up just in time for every rotation, but it just ends up taking longer in the long run. So yeah, just be patient and get your shots in just every other rotation. So 2,000 points for level 2 there. Oh, there's lovely cutscenes in between levels, by the way. I've been a bit impatient because I've just been sort of trying to get my run done, but they are very, very nice to watch. They're graphically very impressive. Okay, so again, lovely graphics on this level. Sort of rotating planet thingy in the background. Nice and bright. There's kind of rocky outcrops and things. There's waterfalls. But again, it is sort of slightly. It feels slightly awkward playing this. I suppose like R-Type is like that in a way at times. But sort of quite often it's kind of like. It's like there's all those. For example, there's all those enemies in the top right, sort of spraying bullets down, and I've got this kind of like weird laser thing which sort of like shoots up, and I'm just trying to sort of like pick them off, and it's just like it just feels like a little bit awkward. It's a decent challenge, but it's not quite as relaxing as just like blowing things up with just like straight in front of you with some kind of mega weapon. Yeah, so getting like a spray of bullets from. This level does sort of scroll up and down as well, by the way. I've kind of like settled on this kind of route going basically through the middle, but you can explore it a bit by going up and down, although you run into similar kind of hazards with these things in the water. I do like that as a feature, by the way, just like the water bits in between the rocks. It just looks nice. And yeah, I'm trying to shoot something just off screen there, and you actually need to get sort of quite close to the edge of the screen to be able to see or to get it to scroll. So it's kind of like, and there's a bit coming up just here as well, which it's just made that little bit more difficult, that you can't see that far ahead of you or that far below you. So yeah, here we are. So scrolling down, like I know there's like a bunch of enemies down there, but I kind of need to. And they're shooting up, so it's just dangerous that I'll be scrolling down, just as they're shooting up, and I'll just like run straight into a bullet. So it's quite awkward to get through that. I mean, it's not that difficult, but it's just kind of like yeah, it's kind of like it just puts you on edge more than I'd like. Okay, level 3 boss, quite a cool dragon here. Generally find if you kind of stay near to and sort of like level with the kind of like hit bit on its forehead, then you're generally pretty safe. It kind of does this like looping tail attack, which you can avoid if you're close enough. It shoots fire from its mouth, and it's got this laser beam from I think it comes from its eyes, which you've got to be careful from. But if you stay roughly in that position relative to it, then it's not too bad. Okay, a whopping 3,000 points for that. Now, I think I'm supposed to be rescuing the lady in blue or something. Just got zapped. Unfortunately, I'll try and hurry up and save her. Okay, so level 4. Yeah, again, there's like a slightly awkward bit in a way. Like there's these things on the top and bottom of the screen, but you can't quite reach them. And it's another case as well. Like I was finding, I was trying to sort of detach my pod to get them, but my pod was just taking too long, and I was just getting sort of picked off like in other ways. So it's kind of like I ended up finding out the best thing to do is to try and dodge them a bit. Well, do your best, but sort of try and get as far forward as possible to get out there as quickly as possible. Okay, these things on the bottom here do take quite a few hits. But yeah, the shadow laser I've got there is quite handy for it. Fortunately, I've got that weapon. If I didn't have that weapon, I'd be doing another dodge-a-thon, trying to avoid them all. It's a bit of like, one thing about this game actually, like although there's a lot of stuff which comes flying at you, it's fairly forgiving with the collision detection. I find, like your pod does tend to absorb sort of like quite a few sort of hits near to it, just when you think your actual ship might have got hit, so that works fairly well, and yes, it's not too stingy in terms of like if a bullet grazes you, like you seem to get away with it, and I think that helps a lot. Really, it'd perhaps start getting unreasonable if it wasn't like that. Right, there's a safe spot here. Thanks to OSG for pointing this out, but it's best to use the background just as a guide there. But that kind of like hole, I'm kind of like half over at the moment. If you stay in like about that position there and just use a normal shot, you can just like keep on shooting, and you are effectively safe. It does get a bit hairy because those sort of tentacle arm things coming at you, they sort of might panic you, but stay calm. No need to fret. Even the bouncing things come near to you, but again, no need to panic. You're in a safe spot, and you can just keep on shooting. £4,000 points. Yeah, it does take unfortunately I had the right weapon for that, which was just by pure luck really. If I had the single shot, then it would have taken ages, but again, it's still a safe spot. So the plot thickens. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the story is, but it looks interesting nonetheless. So level 5 here, it's kind of like I do like the graphics in this one as well. It's kind of like this sort of computer virtual reality type graphic design. Right, and you get these ships here, which are quite large, but they actually don't take many hits. The mistake I made on this level when I first played is that I was trying to get those ships with the charge shot, but they don't need the charge shot, and there's a few too many of them as well. So you want to be getting off your bullets as just your normal bullets as quickly as possible. I'm doing some. I was about to say I was doing some immense dodging there, but I flew straight into one of the rocks, so maybe not so immense after all. Yeah, so I was worried after losing that life, thinking, oh no, like it's a difficult level. There's a lot of bullets flying around. Am I going to be able to recover without my power-ups? Luck or skill, you decide. Yeah, no, I was delighted with that bit. That was very nicely done. Well done, me. Sort of penned in a bit there, so not quite sure what to do. Hanging back to try and be safe. bit lucky I just didn't fly straight into those bullets there. Yeah, I'll put that one down to luck. Sort of like a mid-level boss here. Now this is a good opportunity to detach your pod. If you try and get in front of them to kill them, then you get jabbed by the spiky thing there, or one of the sort of dragony thingies sort of catches up with you, pins you against the back of the screen or so. And if you detach the pod, you can just sort of stay out of the way once your pod does the business. A few fairly standard turrets here, nothing to worry about. Yeah, interesting. What's it, rotating graphics there? So reminds me of some of those like Neo Geo games. I'm sure there's a technical term for it. Is it hardware sprites or something? I don't know. I'm not technically minded like that. I probably should be, but I just like to play the games. Just a moment of relative stillness, really, which makes no change from the frantic bullet fest earlier on. So end of level boss. Yeah, it's like lovely graphics and design. It's like computer, kind of like this kind of face thing, which kind of blocks all your shots. You need to sort of take out those hit bits on the enemy at the back there. I don't know if they're like brains or something. But general idea, like dodge the face and the bullets which aim in on you, or destroy the bullets which aim in on you rather. Try and get your shots away. Fortunately, like when you do your charge shot, it's got like a little bit of reach above and below you as well, so you can kind of like take out those bullets by if they're just about to hit you above or below, like your charge shot should hopefully get rid of them. Trying some standard shots there, not quite sure what works best. Probably the charge shots, just a bit easier to hit. And there we go. 5,000 points. Whee! Amazing. She's not doing very well. Okay, level 6, space theme. You've got these big ships here. All quite pedestrian at this moment. Probably get a few points. I was thinking about detaching my pod here. Let my pod go to work on the ship, because I can't really hit it otherwise. But I just thought it's too much of a risk. Really, I didn't want to detach my pod and get caught short by some bullets flying in at me from the front. shoot the rocks and they kind of like start bouncing away from you, which is quite cool. Just like a bit of physics there. Yeah, I mean, I think I took out some missiles with that charge shot, and I got a few thousand or so, and I actually got more for those couple of seconds trying to take out the enemy than I did for the whole of, like the stage 5 bonus. I'm quite aggrieved about that. Yeah, I just didn't know there's a big fat laser coming straight at me. I was just in the wrong position for that. Just in the wrong position entirely. I couldn't remember it was coming. I mean, I'd only sort of got through this. I'd only got this far before on sort of feeding credits, so I couldn't remember what was coming. But yeah, that certainly caught me off guard. Do you find it does help just to keep finding normal shot here, because those enemies flying in fast and sort of most of them going past you, your pod's not quite enough to take them out by itself, so you do need to get like a shot in or two just to soften it up before it sort of like goes straight through you. But I got caught out there, but never mind. I was very pleased with that, particularly with the bullet dodging on stage 5 there. So yeah, really interesting game. I've kind of been a little bit low on energy last couple of weeks, so perhaps with a bit more time I could probably maybe complete this, depending on what the last stage or two is like. I think there might be 7 stages, but I was making good progress in the time I put in, so but yeah, happy with that. So my final score, it doesn't show you final score for ages. I'll have to check it and put it in the description. But that is my score nonetheless, and bye for now.